Hey, welcome back. It's me, RJB. And today we've got something slightly different from the usual. Namely, we've got two pro players, Piano and Soulkey himself, playing some fastest map 1 versus 1. It's going to be a set of 3 replays. Not sure who's going to win, but we'll find out. And yeah, I was really curious to see how they play this, because they have very little fastest map 1 versus 1 experience. But they're both top-level pro players. Specifically, Soulkey is still considered one of the best Zerg players at the moment, and probably of all time. Whereas Piano is a little bit, well, I wouldn't say he has never really been at the top level, the absolute top level, but he's been very consistently a very good player amongst all the pros. And yeah, I think this is going to be a ball. I think this is going to be a baller. Specifically because Terran versus Zerg on fastest map is very much like Terran versus Zerg on the regular map. There are some slight nuances here and there that are different. The details aren't all the same. But both players should be able to really display their game knowledge and their micro skills, their macro skills, their awareness, basically everything that you would want in a player. I'm sure they will be able to display it on the fastest map 1 versus 1. Although I don't want to raise the expectations too much. But it does look like Soulkey knows what he's doing here by building that hatchery there in the choke, getting himself a nice little, well, a choke. He's got a little sunkens there, he's got the pool there finished up, he's got the hatchery on the way as well, so all the build order things are actually all going well. His overlord just now finishing up, so we'll see the game sound. I'm gonna have to change the music loudness. I think it's a little bit too loud. Sound? Well, the music is actually perfectly fine there. It's just the digital volume. Alright, so this should be better. So Piano started off with 2 barracks, not getting a third one. He's got an academy there on the way. He's gonna scout this frontal portion here with that marine, start attacking that creep colony. Hoping to just get some damage down on it. Maybe he's just going to walk past and go straight for the drones there in the back. He's going to go for the Sunken, just dealing that bit of damage to the Sunken, but he pulls back because he knows that Zerglings are probably on the way to help secure that choke point there in the front. He's going to ball up with more Marines there. The SV there on the top side is going to return back to base as well. Gas there on the way for Soulkey on 10 drones at the moment. Only going for a single Sunken there in the front, quite risky, but honestly, you don't need all that many more. Now the option does exist for Piano to try and attack this here in the front. The Sunken is already damaged by quite a bit. Lost about, I thought it lost more HP, but it's only 27 HP that's gone there. SV there is scouting, seeing what's going on. Sees that there's a second Sunken there on the way. Still only 2 Zerglings there. We've got a factory on the way here for a Piano. I really don't like the placement of these depots there. It's completely blocking off those 2 gas there, but you know, that's the thing with the pro players who play mostly regular map, almost no fastest map. Their SimCity is absolutely atrocious when it comes to fastest map compared to the usual fastest map players. But you know, usually it works out. Usually they do pretty well. Lair there on the way for Soulkey. Piano still there balling up in the front. More Sunkers coming down there in front as well to just deny the possibility for Piano to try and rush himself through the entrance there with Stim upgrade and range. He's going to have to use a tank to push in, but we're also seeing a starport already coming out for Piano, probably making a dropship. Although I also know that the pro players really like to use raids to hunt down those overlords there on the sides. But alternatively, of course, you might also just be going for a science facility, as everyone else does. A dropship into a science facility, into a science vessel. So you can detect the lurkers that are definitely going to be coming in here from Soulkey. Though he's going for a Spire, but lurkers will be coming in later into the game, I'm sure. But first we'll be looking at some Mutalisk Micro, and I'm not sure whether Piano is in his current shape or form washed up or prepared for exactly that. Spire is almost finished there, about 20 seconds more left. We have no engineering bay here for Piano, so no turrets to defend against the Mutalisks. He only has a 2-barrack production for Marines, and only 3 medics there at the moment. He does have range on the way for his Marines, so he might be able to fight off those Mutalisks, but it's going to be very easy, I think, with these 2 hills here on the side for Soulkey to pick up those Marines and, well, reduce the number of Marines and then probably just use the Mulus Micro to take a lead over Piano. At least that's what I expect. I'm not too sure though, because I'm not sure how well Piano fights against Mulisks. Given the fact that he's a pro player, has a lot of experience against top level Zergs, I do think he has the ability to play against Mulisks very well with his Marines, a Marine Micro. But it's all going to be up to what is going to happen within the next couple of minutes for us to really get a good picture of what they are capable of or what they're not capable of. So dropship there on the way. We have Mulisk finishing up there. Total of 9 Mulisk there queued up. 7 have finished and 3 more are on the way. He's going for 11 in total. He's just going to ignore the Marine push there in the front. He's just going to go straight for the base and punish Piano for getting caught off guard. Soulkey definitely has more experience with fastest map than Piano here, it seems. Because Piano is losing all of his SFVs there very quick, very quick. Marines are coming in there though. Marines and Medic are trying to get some damage down on those drones here on the low ground in the base. Mules have returned because they want to protect the drones. The Marines are spawning, getting out of the dropship, but they're immediately getting taken down by the Mules. And it looks like Piano didn't really achieve much with that attack. And considering there's still many Sunkas here in the front still, oh no, Piano's making a huge mistake there. He's trying to take down those Sunkans faster by stimming his Marines into them, but in the process he's going to lose a lot of his Marines and make it very easy for these Mules, 12 in total or 11 here in the stack, to pick off those individual Marines there with Mulus Micro and punish Piano for that mistake. Turrets have now been built here around the command center, built the engineering bay there. He's got 4 barracks now in total. He's getting science facilities as well. He's getting radiate as well, but here, look at here, because Piano wasted so many of his Marines trying to take down those suckers in the front, the Mules are just overpowering Piano so extremely quickly and extremely well that really there's not much Piano can do at this point except turtle and sit in his base, while Soulkey is going to get bigger and bigger. He's got a Hylas Den there on the way. He's making Scorches as well to snipe those science facilities. Bunker there in the base as well for Piano. He's just going to be forced to play on defense for a while. Mules there, returning back to base for Soulkey. Is that a Queen's Nest? That's a Queen's Nest, so we'll be looking at a hive. Now the drone count for Soulkey is only on about 22. The income is not that high. The income for Piano though suffered quite a bit because he lost so many SCVs there to the Mules earlier. But he's at the moment still in the lead in worker count. But it does look like Soulkey is going to catch up on his 3-hatch Mules build order. Basically the old build order that they used to do on the regular maps before they switched over to 2-hatch Muta, which has a lot of branching options, more than 3-hatch Muta. Yeah, he's basically playing 3-hatch Muta on fastest map, where it is a very viable build order, but you do have to keep in mind that you gotta scale up, get rich, get big as the Zerg, because your opponents are gonna get bigger than you. And if you stay on those 3 hatcheries for too long, you'll fall behind purely by having too little macro ability. Your production is simply incapable of matching up with your opponents. So lifting up the science facility, because after the radiate upgrade and probably after the energy upgrade, it doesn't have much use anymore in Terran versus Zerg. You're not going to go battle cruisers. You can pretty much, you're not going to go ghosts unless you want to nuke lurker swarms, but that's a very rare occurrence that we don't often see. It's costly, time consuming, and the Zerg can probably kill that ghost quite easily as well. So he's making more starports there to get more science facilities or Valkyries. Not sure what he's going to do. He's just going to go for the frontal push here first with the Marines and the tanks, leaving his base there exposed. He takes down one of the overlords there of Soulkey, but Soulkey quickly has another spawn. Soulkey's getting a lot of lurkers this time around as well. Hive there almost finished up. He's going to get a Defiler Mount 2, I'm sure. Hatchery number 4 there in the base as well, because he's going to lose that one there in the front. And the push is going to continue. Yeah, there's pretty much nothing left here in the front. He does have 2 science facility vessels, and more of them are on the way. And now Piano can safely stim in, but little does he know there's mass lurkers there behind the sunks, and he's going to run most of his Marines into the lurkers. Actually, only a couple of them. He's going to have to very slowly advance forward with the siege. Unsiege, siege up, unsiege, siege up. He radiates one of the lurkers. Vessels, Scourge there in the back, ready to hunt those science vessels. He's going to go in with all of it at the same time. Mule is taking focus away from the Lurkers. Lurkers killing all the Marines there on the low ground, and both sides facilities went down there. And now it's a very easy game for Soulkey because he just can force Piano's mass away from his base and build up bigger and bigger very comfortably. Whereas Piano pretty much has to rebuild his entire mass as he lost his entire mass there. He still has a couple of leftover Marines and a science vessel there in the back as well, but there's still more Scorches there ready to hunt for the vessel. Beautiful approach there from Soulkey, using the Mule Discover to secure an advancement for those Lurkers. But now there's essentially there in the front again. He throws down a radiate on one of the Lurkers. Manages to keep his vessel alive with some great vessel control. Getting Valkyries now as well to fight against those Guardians and those Mulelisks, which Soulkey will not have an answer for. Soulkey, though, does have a Defiler finished up. He's got a Defiler mount there on the bottom as well. Getting consumed. He's got an Evo Chamber now too, and getting a 5th hatchery. Although it's the 5th hatchery there in the back. Very slowly buying himself time. He's only unburrowing and moving a tiny bit backwards with those Lurkers just outside of the tank range to force the tanks to unsiege and resiege. But first, he's going to go in with the Guardians because the Valkyries are still hanging there in the back, not going forward, not attacking, not protecting. So it only has 4 of them at the moment, but there's nothing to threaten those Valkyries except a couple of Scorches. But most of the time, Scorches go down to Halo rockets. But Soulkey here walking straight into that Valkyrie trap as his Guardians are too far away from the base. And the Valkyries are going to take down those Guardians within the blink of an eye. But Lurkers and Zergling coming in here through the front as well. Gets a Dark Swarm down there on the low ground. And he protects the Lurkers and forces Piano away from the choke point there. Forces him to siege up there far away from his choke. And Soulkey's just going to advance forward into Piano's base and get himself a nice foothold there in the front. He's going to go for the SCVs there. He's going to go for straight for the SCVs and ignore all the units Piano has. And this is going to be the GG, because now there's 2 Lurkers here on top of those SCVs, and the SCVs are not going to be able to tank this for long. He's going to lose those SCVs there. Oh, he loses a lot of them there in the back. He's killing Overlords here in the base, though, but I think that this game is Soulkey's, because Soulkey, he did lose his Defiler there in Piano's base. And he has almost no units in his own base. He's got no Lurkers left in his own base. Just have a Defiler there, but the Defiler doesn't have energy. He's got a Lurker there in the front, though, but he's going to have to relocate it very quick. He throws down a Swarm on top of the Marines, but the Zerglings, Piano simply moves out of the Dark Swarm. There's a Lurker there in it as well. Lurker moves. Oh, Lurker gets himself solidified there, but the Marines simply moving forward. They're going to snipe all the Marines there on the draw, on the hive, on the minerals. And there's no more Dark Swarm left for Soulkey. And Soulkey is forced to call the GG, even after he had that beautiful move into Piano's base there in the back. Piano eventually manages to clear out the Lurkers. Only 39 minerals left, but a good counter move there from Piano that Soulkey wasn't prepared for. He simply wasn't expecting it. He was expecting Piano to sit tight and wait there in the middle. But Piano decided to just go for the counterattack and punish Soulkey during that very small little window of time he had to do it. So eventually Piano comes out on top. I thought Soulkey was going to win this one, but I was wrong. The match was very close, very messy, very unlike what you usually see in Terran vs. Zerg. I really thought Soulkey had it, but he flew a little bit too close to the edge. And, well, if you're flying, you can't fall off it, so you just, the analogy makes no sense. Anyway, let's go for game number 2, because I'm kind of curious to see how that one's going to play out. I really want to know, can Soulkey beat Piano on fastest map in 1 vs. 1? Or is Soulkey going to be on the receiving end once again and take another loss? Let's find out. Of course, the matchup between these two players stays the same. Piano plays Terran and Soulkey plays Zerg. Now this time around, the spawns are a little bit more in favor of Soulkey, in my opinion. There's quite some distance to travel for Piano to get to Soulkey's base. But it also means that Soulkey will have a tougher time pulling off a counter-attack like it did last game, because there's of course more distance to travel, which of course if he goes for a counter-attack, for example like it did last game with the Guardians and the Lurkers and the Zerglings, it takes longer to arrive at Piano's base, which gives Piano, realistically speaking, some time to rebuild some of the units he lost and try to defend his own hide. Let's speed at the first 2 minutes, because the first 2 minutes are never that interesting. Unless, of course, a player does something that's very out of the ordinary, but we're seeing very regular and ordinary stuff coming out here from both Soulkey and Piano. 2 barrack build order there into gas from Piano, And of course, a hatchery in the choke, into a pull, into another hatchery there in the back. Then of course, we've seen extractor coming down for Soulkey as well. Honestly, I never thought I'd be casting Soulkey playing fastest map ever, because I thought he never played it, but I turned out to be wrong. Oh yeah, so about the nature of these replays, I found these in Piano's autosave file, which I managed to acquire, I think on the 14th of September. And there's a lot of amazing pro player against pro player stuff in there, and I'm going to be sharing with people. There's also some KCM challenge stuff in there, which I can't share with people because it's under the KCM trademark, but which should also be absolutely amazing to just, you know, watch by myself. So they're on the way for Soulkey. Same as last game. This time we don't see any harass in the front here from Piano because he finds Soulkey pretty late into the game. SV there barely stays alive, gets away just in time. Sunken number 2 there on the way as well. 2 Zerkers are ready to secure the choke. And we already again have that factory coming out there for Piano. So this time around, Piano places his depots a little bit less messy. Last time was all over the place. This time around it looks very neat and nice. Not exactly sure what is the correct placement because I really like to place it here and then here. But he likes to do it differently. This one triggers me a little bit though, because that's going to eliminate the use of this gas there. Going to eliminate the ability to build a command center below here as well, which I personally like to do. I like to build one here and here, so I can fill out all my gas needs. Having 3 command centers there for all the 10 gazers there. But Piano, I think he assumes he might only need 7 or 8 of them, or maybe even less. So starport there coming out for Piano very early on. Soulkey there on the lair. We're seeing a Spire once again, so it's a 3-hatch Mutalisk build order. Getting 2 more extractors there to facilitate his gas requirements to build those Mutalisks. So Soulkey has found Piano's base, his location. Doesn't know what Piano's up to though, but I think Soulkey thinks it is safe to assume that Piano is going to do somewhat the same thing as last time. Because of course Piano doesn't know of all the different options you can do playing Terran versus Zerk. Like that's one of the downsides, that even though you are a pro player on the regular maps, your lack of experience on fastest map does limit your options by a little. But their knowledge usually comes in very handy in terms of deciding whether they can go for a situation, they can go for a play or not. Because they have such extensive knowledge of the exact numbers and interactions of every single unit in the game. So hatchery number 3 there in the back for Macro. He's getting more hatcheries this time around faster than the previous time. Because of course he has been abused there in the front, so he feels a little bit safer. He is saving his larva up though. He's got 2 there in the front, 4 there in the back for a total of 6. And we'll be seeing 2 more spawning on 1 more spawning on every single hatchery. Hydra's then coming out, Queen's Nest coming out as well, so making 6 Mutalisks there at the same time. He's not going for 7 or 9 like last time, although of course this time around he's getting that Queen's Nest and that Hydra's Den faster than the previous game, which of course cost about 300 minerals, so he couldn't afford number 7, 8, and 9. Piano this time around, getting a faster Valkyrie because he's expecting Mutalisks. Valkyries do amazingly well against Mutalisks, if Marines of course are there to support the Valkyries. We've got more barracks there coming out as well, so he's really changing up his game plan to be more anti-Mutalisk focused. We've got 6 Mutalisks there moving across the map, but he's going to fly into that Valkyrie. Valkyrie there, got a lot of damage down on the Mutalisks. More damage than I would like to see actually. Some of them really got a low HP. 1 Marine there helped out as well. Another Valkyrie there on the hunt for the Mutalisk, but he's going to actually join his mass there in the front. Siege up, start the push. No vessels this time around though, which might catch Piano off guard by a little bit. Scientially there on the way, 2 more Valkyries queued up, so we'll be seeing 3 Valkyries there ready to fight against the Mutalisk. Mutalisk cannot really get any foothold here with the hills, because look at this, the Valkyrie is providing vision on top of the hills, which makes fighting against those Mutalisks from Soulkey significantly easier to do. He's going to try to pick off those Marines that are on the side though. Marines have range and stim upgrade. I've got medics there in the mix as well. He's got No other marine upgrades on the way. It does have an engineering bay now being built. It's quite late. Science facility there on the way as well. Starport number 2 there is finished. I thought this was a science facility at first, but it looks like it is instead a starport, so we can make more Valkyries. What is Soulkey gonna do? That's the big question. He does have the hive finished, but no defiler mount yet. The defiler mount will be out soon. First getting another macro hatchery. Piano's gonna just barge through the front here. The lurkers are almost finished and there's no detection for Piano whatsoever. The vessels have not yet finished, which might be a disastrous mistake there from Piano, going for that many Valkyries to fight against the Multis, but being completely unprepared against all the lurkers that are burrowing up there right on top of his marines and zoning him away. Does lose all of his Zerglings though. Multis there still alive. Scorcher there as well, ready to snipe those vessels and those Valkyries. But first the lurkers are going to try to move forward tiny bit by tiny bit, but unburrowing the lurkers there, really hurting the lurkers. There's a couple of them to go down, but a couple of marines there walking into the lurkers by accident. So where have you the defiler mount? The defiler mount is pretty close to the tanks there though. There's lurkers at the moment still in between, but vessels are on the way. And once those vessels arrive, it's going to be a difficult game there for Piano. Command Center number 2 there coming out for Piano, unlike last game where he only played on a single one, consumed there on the way, about 20 more seconds left to finish it. And more macro hatcheries coming out for Soulkey as well. So of 5 macro hatcheries as he lost the one there in the front. More lurkers burrowing up there in between the defiler mount and the tanks. So the advantage from Piano is currently at a stalemate, I want to say. And at impasse, where he's incapable of progressing forward up until the point he gets that vessel right there to kill all the lurkers. And once he has a vision of the lurkers, he can just stim his marines in, honestly. Some more lurkers in the back. He unburrows very quickly, walks them backwards. One of them went down. One of them went down. The fighter there, waiting for the consume to finish. Let's keep the consume highlighted. Oh, Valkyries there, killing the Mulilisks. Mulilisks there, not really that great against the Valkyries. The vessel there stays alive as well, and very slowly but surely, Soulkey is regretting his choice. Oh, radiate down there on the drones as well. He manages to select the one drone and keep the others alive. Not sure how he managed to do that, but he selected the correct one. Dog Swarm comes out just in time, and all the Marines are in the front are going down to the Lurker Swarm. Ooh, very greedy move there from Piano. He is killing all the Overlords there in the back, though, with his Valkyries. But the Lurker Swarm advancement from Soulkey towards his choke point is quite successful. He manages to keep Piano away for now, but his biggest issue at the moment is he's got no Overlords, and he needs some supply space. The fighter there in the front, getting Plague now as well, but he cannot produce anything. You cannot even make a spawn a lurker or morph a lurker. He does have just enough energy soon, I think. He's gonna have to consume a drone. I don't think he wants to, but he's gonna have to do it. 1, 2, alright, just in time. Oh no, he didn't eat the second one. He didn't eat the second one. Didn't eat the second one. Don't have energy, he's waiting for energy. He notices he doesn't have the energy, so he's waiting just a little longer. 1 more second, 2 more seconds, and there comes the Dark Swarm ready to protect his tech structures. But at the same time, Overlords are getting killed by Valkyries. There's 3 vessels there as well, ready to go and strike on those drones. He's going to go for the drones, going to get the radiate down all drones. And there's no burrow upgrade there for Soulkey. And he's going to lose most of his drones here, I fear. Well, he didn't lose most of them, but he did lose a couple of them. Another radiate coming down there on top of the drones. And this time around, he does lose about 10 of them. That's a total of, I think, 15 drones lost, and Piano comes out on top quite convincingly. Soulkey was very close, but he wasn't prepared for the Valkyrie tech that would completely stop his Mulalisk from being useful, which eventually slowed down his tech for lurkers and defilers down by so much that Piano could just very comfortably progress into Soulkey's base and, well, dish out some punishment. That's game number 2. 2 wins for Piano already. Soulkey falling behind by a bit, but let's see if Soulkey can get that win in game number 3. So, the players are this time around pretty close to each other once again. I'd say this spawn location is slightly advantageous for Soulkey because it's pretty close to the minerals. Like the hills right here, you can go to the minerals. It's not that great, not that much of a distance for him to cover. So he might get lucky and get some hits down on those SCVs. If that is what he's going to be aiming for, I'm not too sure. Just going to have to wait and see. As I always say, let's wait and see what they're going to do. Let's not make any bold claims or brash claims what they're going to be up to. Oh, wait. This is pretty bad for for Soulkey. Gets scouted pretty early. Well, on the first attempt, really. And there's 2 barracks there finishing up. So we have Marines on the way very soon as well. It might be able to build a bunker there in the front and bunker rush this hatchery, although he's pulling back his SCV. Because he needs to queue up Marines first. Let's see what he's going to do. Most players would go for a bunker rush on the hatchery, but he might just walk completely past the hatchery and try to bunker rush the main there. He's going to try to dish out some harassment there, though, with the Marines and the SCV. Great micro there, coming down from Soulkey with the drone. SCV cannot fight back, but SCV can deny the creep there in the front. Zerk is coming out there from the back, ready to support the drone, and Piano knows, so he pulls away. Piano pulls away. He doesn't want to lose the Marine or the SCV. He doesn't want to fight for it. So the Sunken there are going to come up in the front. So in the previous game, Soulkey only made 2 Zerglings. This time around he made 2 more, so that means 1 drone less. But I don't think that will impact him too much, because most of the time, a lot of fastest players make 6 Zerglings instead of 2 or 4. Creep colony number 2 there on the way as well. Lair being morphed already. These lairs from Soulkey have been really early. But, if you have some great mealist micro, it's a good option to go for it. Unless, of course, you fight into very early Valkyries, as we've been seeing here from Piano in the last game. Very early and quick Valkyries that completely shut down the mealist harassment that Piano did suffer from significantly in the first game, but somehow managed to recover from by some freak accident that shouldn't have happened. The 20 SCVs now for Piano. We've got Stim upgrade there on the way, medics on the way there as well. Medics are already there actually. You cannot fight against these Sunken, so you're just going to stand there and keep Soulkey contained within his base. They're almost finished up. We have Starport there already on the way. No armory yet. No science facility yet either, of course. It's going to come after the Starport, but I'm not sure what Piano's going to go for. Is he going to go for Valkyries or for a science facility? I do have a feeling that this SCV here, though, might make an armory. Nope, no armory. No armory yet. This one's going to make an armory. Is it? Well, first we get Siege Mode and a tank from Piano. And that is an armory there coming out right afterwards. So he's going to make himself some Valkyries to do, I think, the same thing as he did last game. Then there and Spire coming out for Soulkey. No Queen's Nest this time around. The Queen's Nest is delayed. Although, this is going to be a Queen's Nest. There it is. Queen's Nest is out there. He's only going for 2 extractors here instead of going for 3. So his economy will be a bit better in terms of his mineral income, but his gas income will be a little bit lower. So I'm not sure what he can make, 6 or 7 or maybe even 9 mutalisks once the Spire finishes. He'll probably make a lot less. I'm not sure if he's even going to go for them. Maybe he's just going to build Sunkens in the front and buy himself time. Because maybe Soulkey knows that Piano will likely try to go for Valkyries once again. So he's going for something different. The Spire is probably just there to build Scorches, and he's going to rely on Lurker Swarm to defend himself, but first he needs Lurkers, of course, so we've got Lurker Aspect here on the way, Hive now on the way as well. And we've got Scorches will soon be queued up once he sees the anti-air or the vessels coming in from Piano. Piano not going for a science facility first, or a science vessel first though, means that Soulkey can try to pull off some nifty moves once the Lurkers finish, along with some Zerglings and whatever else he needs. He might try to go for a push on the Marines and the tanks, given that there's no detection anywhere yet from Piano, and there won't be any detection anytime soon, at least for another 2 minutes. Another barracks there coming out for 4 barrack Marine production, medics of course in the mix as well. Tanks are slowly but surely pushing without extended vision, manages to keep his tank exactly out of the Sunken range, which is quite amazing. That's of course all knowledge and experience, knowing the exact pixel-perfect tank range and the Sunken range to get maximum efficiency and use out of it. And he goes in with the attack there with the Lurkers and the Zerglings, getting on top of the tanks and the Marines. Zerglings there are just there to take fire away from the lurkers, but he managed to kill 2 lurkers there with the Marines and the tanks. Very quick reaction and response there from Piano, making sure he doesn't get all 4 lurkers burrowed up next to his units. Just enough distance between the tanks there. Oh, that Overlord there almost goes down. So we got Zergling speed on the way here for Soulkey. The Filer Mount there on the way as well. Evo Chamber 2, getting more Zerglings, getting Zergling speed, getting more lurkers. So he's going to stick to a ground game. Valkyrie's coming in there to kill those Scorches, but one of the Scorches hits. Almost kills the Valkyrie. More Scorches there on the way, ready to kill that second one. So one more of them is there. One Valkyrie, but I think Piano is going to have to switch over into Science Vessels very quick, very soon. Because he's going to feel the hurt and the pain of the Defiler Lurker Swarm combined with Zerglings very soon. Ooh, he's using his own medics to kill the Lurk. I caught that just in time. First, he moves the medics closer to pinpoint where the Lurker is. Then he puts the medic on top of the Lurker and target fires with the tank. Smart stuff. We don't often see it, but that one was very well executed right there. So more macro hatcheries coming out. This time he's building a lot more macro hatcheries because he knows he's got the time. Because he knows that Soulkey is not yet advanced. He knows that Piano is not yet advancing. So more starports coming out, more factories coming out. He's got one Valkyrie there still in the back. One more science field that he's now on the way. Loading up a couple of Marines, ready to go for an attack there. There's a lot of Scorches there ready to intercept the dropship. And the dropship, I think and fear, will go down. There it is. And yeah, Piano just doesn't look for a single second and Soulkey snipes it. Over there on the bottom side there, it goes down though, so now he's supply locked for a little while. He's got 2 overlords there on the way, but it's going to take a while for them to finish. With the fighter there in the back, with enough energy for 2 Dark Swarms, so he will be able to keep Piano out, which leads me to believe this game is going to go a little bit longer than the previous 2 games. More Evo Chambers coming down there as well. 30 drones now, soon to be on more, but first wait for those overlords. Plague also already on the way there for Soulkey. Piano is getting big on 41 SCVs, and he's adding more command centers there to build more SCVs very quick, but also to get scans and to get himself those, what are they called again? More refineries as well for more gas income, because as we see right here, he's very close to no gas whatsoever. He's going to need more of that. Got Radiate there on the way too for the Science Vessels. Dark Storm there comes out on the Lurkers in the front. Buying himself time. He's getting Overlord. No Overlord speed or no Overlord transport. He's getting air carapace there though. Ground carapace. And melee attacks. He's not getting Lurker Spine upgrades, which is the same as the Hydralisk upgrade. Yeah, filling out all the gas there as well. He's just macroing up, getting bigger, getting richer, buying himself as much time as he can with those Lurker Swarms that Piano cannot physically move through. Piano is going to need a lot more vessels to radiate the Defilers and deny future Lurker Swarms from coming down. Scorcher there on the hunt for vessels. Piano knows. Piano is microing his vessel away back to safety. Yeah, I didn't expect these players to just play it this passively for now, but both players know that this is the way to go. Piano can't really attack. Soulkey has to defend. Because Piano is setting up a really great contain there with Marines and tanks are up on the sides, putting nothing on the hill, but using just the terrain behind the hill itself. Set himself up with great containment. Vessels dancing, baiting those Scorches. Scorches there getting a kill on a Valkyrie there though. He's getting the Lurkers there in the back as well. Guardians, I mean. Not Lurkers, Guardians. Because he's got 47 drones now. A little bit low on minerals, but he might add on more drones very soon. He's mining from almost every single extractor. Unlike Piano, who's only mining from 5 at the moment. And also doesn't have that many production buildings either. 3 starports, 3 factories, 4th one there finishing up. Still getting more SCVs though, so he will be getting richer quick and soon, and he might add out and fill out his entire base. But first, Guardians coming in there for a frontal attack, but he gets 2 radiates down on the Guardians pretty much instantly, splits them up. So 2 Guardians still left alive above the Lurkers, and more Guardians are in the back are being morphed. Don't see Devourers coming out from him, but there's no anti-air like Valkyries left for. Piano anymore. Guardians going in, attacking, killing what they can, getting some beautiful kills down on those tanks and those ground forces. No more radiates are in the moment available for Piano. Piano is still building, still getting richer, still trying to... Well, I think at this point he is catching up to where Soulkey is, because Soulkey has all the tech he needs, whereas Piano is at the moment lacking production facilities. Whereas Soulkey has 7 hatcheries for macro and of course his main, and he's going to push out here. The Piano is mostly relying on Marines, which I believe don't really have the upgrades. Well, they have level 1 armor, level 2, 1 attack, oh, level 0 armor, level 1 attack. But they're not that great into Guardians. The Guardians getting micro up there by Soulkey as well. He's got himself a pretty good position there up on the hill. Able to kill pretty much all the ground forces that he wants to and needs to kill. Although Goliaths now here are on the way. He's getting Karen boosters as well. Scorch is hunting for the vessels, and they're going to get some vessel kills there as well. No, he manages to micro. Alright, he gets 2 vessel kills there in the end. Another radiate there coming down on the Guardian. Guardian's going to be forced away. The fighter there, though, in the back is waiting, ready to strike. Well, ready to strike and throw down another Dark Swarm there. But at the moment, Soulkey is staying with air units. But Valkyries have spawned this time for Piano, but... Looks like there's one Valkyrie there going to save the day and stay alive. Marines there killing the Guardians as well. Guardians are pulling back with Scorch coming in for the Valkyrie. Valkyrie goes down. Scorch there in the back. Pulled away just in time. More hatches coming out here from Soulkey. He really knows what to do once the game goes into the later stage. He's just adding a lot of hatcheries as you've seen other players do. So upgrades are going pretty well too. Level 1-1 for his Zerglings. Lurkers on 1-0. Air is on 1 Carapace, getting level 2 Carapace soon, I believe. Or maybe he's going to go for an attack upgrade. He's getting Overlord Transport as well. I don't know if he has speed yet. Yes, he has speed. So he might go for a drop on Piano soon, in the near future. Piano currently on 4 starports and 5 factories, although number 5 still there on the way. Still setting up a nice little tank line there in the front, unable to move forward. And Soulkey is getting scarily big, with a scary diversity in his tech as well. Yeah, he's definitely going to go for an Overlord drop with those Zerglings and the fighters. He's going to first try to open up a path with the Guardians to go in from the top side, and he's going to fly in the Overlords on top, fly through, go straight for the minerals, and probably or hopefully get a kill on his opponent. But first, he has to wait for that transport upgrade to finish. He's got the Varus now as well to counter the Valkyrie. So his unit mix is actually really smart and amazing. There's so much attention to detail. He's trying to cover every single option he can. Valkyries coming in and getting on top after the Varus. The Varus are debuffing the Valkyries pretty quick. There's 10 Valkyries there. Wind up dealing pretty much no damage whatsoever after the debuff is pretty much almost completely stacked on them. He does kill all the Guardians there though, eventually ended the Varus as well, but the Guardians now will take very little damage from the Valkyries. Do go down there in the end. Valkyries have gone down, the Varus have gone down, there are frontal attacks coming out here as well. The Zerglings are pretty much suicided into the tanks there though. But the mass drop here from Soulkey is what we should be looking out for. Throws down the Dark Swarm on those 2 Lurkers. Lurkers are just outside the range of killing the SCVs. The SCVs are being pulled away. He's going to go for the Command Center instead. Zerglings are coming into the mix as well. The fighter there in the back on the top. He lifts up the Command Center. Doesn't want to lose it because he knows he's going to lose it. In the process, he loses about 20 of his SCVs there. This is an absolutely mega painful attack there that Piano is absolutely suffering from extremely hard because he's losing everything here in the back. There's no money left. Soulkey's doing pretty well here instead. He's going to get kills on the Valkyries there as well. It looks like Soulkey is going to take home the win in this final game between these 2 players. Really well played there from Soulkey. Piano wasn't sure what to do. You could see he wasn't sure what to do. He had a pretty good containment setup, but it was just lagging behind a little bit too much behind Soulkey, who seemed to have a really good idea of what to do in fastest map 1 versus 1, where Soulkey looked to be grasping at straws here near the end. Not sure what was coming, not sure what to do or how to get in, not sure how to advance or abuse his opponent. I think Radiates would have done a really good job, but Soulkey had a lot of Scorches, and with those Scorches I am sure he could have sniped most of those vessels within the blink of an eye and kept his drones alive for sure. So yeah, the score is 2 wins for Piano and 1 win for Soulkey. I hope you enjoyed this set between these two amazing players. Soulkey, of course, almost everyone's favorite Zerg player. And Piano, a great Terran player as well. Yeah, I want to see how many kills the Lurkers got there. 15, 8, and these... I want to 4, I got 15 as well, so... He pretty much killed all the SVs, there's only 6 of them left. He killed about 60 of them. And all of them got eaten up by those Lurkers. A couple of Zerglings there, of course, got the kills as well. The fighter there in the back did a great job there with the Dark Swarms to facilitate all of this. And yeah, really well played. Really well played. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you back next time around. And don't forget to leave a comment, leave a like if you want, or subscribe. You got the power. Do what you want. And see you in the near future once again.